Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
Your suffering will be legendary, even in hell.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
They're here.
You said you were ready. I don't believe you.
I'm never ready.
No, we'll wait on you now.
Oh, no, I'm here.
Me and the audience, we're waiting on you now.
As it should be. I am the star of the show, damn it.
You're the fan favorite.
I am. If not for me, this show would be empty.
I could talk into nothingness.
You usually do, because... What? Were you talking?
Yeah, I know.
All right. Yes?
No, we'll wait.
All right, hold on 1 second.
What are you possibly scrolling through? What could take that much scrolling?
Nothing. I'm done.
Something. I don't know how... Was that like an ancient Twitter feed?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
I was scrolling through Twitter.
Okay. You sick?
A little bit, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
You sound faint and babyish.
Because I don't feel that great, but I'm here tonight. I'm playing hurt. I've also had excessive bowel movements.
Fantastic.
Just FYI.
Fantastic. Speaking of gross and enormous bowel movements, let's talk about the Fox X-Men universe.
Oh, wow. We're just going to jump right into the news?
I guess.
Oh,
I don't know.
wow.
I guess,
Okay.
yeah, we need a pause for that segue tease. Unless there's something we have to talk about.
Not that I know of.
Really? Usually you're like, it's my birthday month.
It is. It's my birthday week. My birthday's coming up on Saturday.
I'm so
Sunday.
bad with days.
Sorry, Sunday.
Okay,
Sunday.
I feel better with days of the week now. I'm like, is it? I'm bad.
I'm an idiot. I'm
bad,
sorry.
I'm bad with days and times. But no, I feel better now that I had that validation. It's like I thought it was Sunday.
No, it's Tuesday. My birthday's on Sunday.
Yeah. I feel better because you said it was Saturday. I'm like, crap, I'm off by a day.
Now we're here.
I got it, baby.
Yay!
Is there any news, excitement, things? No.
No, not really. No.
Yeah.
No.
Everyone's alive for
now.
Yeah. News!
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Bowel movement the first.
Ooh.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Gambit, the Channing Tatum Gambit movie,
Yes.
has a new release date for February 2019.
Go on.
You know what it doesn't have?
A director?
A director.
Does it have a script?
Probably not.
How about a cast?
Channing Tatum.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said the Channing Tatum
And
Gambit movie.
no one else, as far as we know.
Maybe it's a one-man show.
This is going to be awful, right?
It's not going to be good. No.
They just keep on trying to force it, and people keep on quitting. And then it looks like Channing Tatum's quitting, and then he doesn't. And then they're like, here's a new date. Also, we have nothing to back it up with.
Good talk.
Seems like a terrible movie.
It is, indeed.
You can't have this much fouled up production. I still bet we're never actually going to see this movie.
You don't think so?
No. It's had too many false starts.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Or if Tatum's out, we can get Taylor Kitsch back, whatever the hell his name is. No one cares about him anymore.
No.
It's not 2009.
No.
Both Deadpool and Dark Phoenix have wrapped production.
Hooray!
I don't know, not a lot to say there. They're just... Fox seems to be pushing hard on trying to rebrand themselves after having a couple of successes in the last year between Logan and Deadpool. And no other movie that needs mentioning. They've only had those two movies.
Logan and Deadpool, that's all you need.
Yeah, there was no X-Men Apocalypse. Don't worry about it.
That was a really bad movie.
That was not fun.
I didn't like it one bit.
I was trying to think of one bit I liked. Oh, you know what I liked?
What?
That they gave Angel little talons on his wings so they were more like little hands.
So you could grab things like people.
Yeah.
Make them scream and cry.
That's
and
about the only thing I liked.
fly away with them.
That's not true. You liked that they played Four Horsemen.
Yes.
It always comes back to Metallica now, for whatever reason.
I like them, the Four Horsemen.
I just know you like Metallica.
I love Metallica.
Speaking of Master of Puppets, this segue doesn't work at all. New Mutants had its first teaser trailer. What do you know about the New Mutants?
They're new. One of them lives in a dryer.
That's Sunspot.
And that's about it.
Yeah. So this was, as previously teased, and looks like what they're going for is they are going for a horror movie with New Mutants.
Good
Just
for them.
straight up horror. So,
It looked dark and foreboding.
yeah, the first time I watched it, my reaction was, oh, they're trying something new. They're kind of breaking the mold.
Very appropriate for this time of year.
And then I thought about it a little more. I'm like, this looks like the most generic horror movie imaginable. If it wasn't X-Men, there's no way I would watch this. And then I came around again and thought, well, if you're going to break the mold, you probably need to go with kind of a stereotypical, like, well-established formula to break the mold with if you're going to try something different.
So go scary.
Well, just
Scary heroes.
Well, just going with kind of the haunted house. I mean, it's a haunted hospital, but going with kind of the haunted house story and doing some stuff that...
With some ambient Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that was annoying. Can we stop that?
Yeah, you've been talking about this in recent weeks.
I also forgot to mention it during the Justice?
The Justice League?
Yes, the Justice League trailer.
Yes.
I said I was going to bring it up, then I forgot to.
Please remind
Cut
us.
this crap. Cut the crap of the 60s and 70s pop song, but played kind of slow, even though, yeah, that children's choir was there in that song from The Wall.
But if you don't have your meat, how can we have any pudding?
I just don't want it anymore. It's dumb. It's overplayed.
But if you don't have your meat, how can we have any pudding? Am I wrong?
If you don't stop, I'll make you comfortably numb.
There it is. Found it.
It's just running through my head of like songs from The Wall. I don't know. I think it looks interesting at least. And for the most part, lesser known X-Men. So far, only one of them has been seen in a movie. And he had one whole line, so look out.
I got the spooky vibe, but I don't know, I'll be interested in what's going on. I know I'll have to watch a requisite episode or two.
Yeah, we're going to do one arc. We're going to do the arc that it's mostly based on.
Ah.
The Demon Bear Saga.
Well, I got the feeling that there weren't nice bears in this. Only demon bears.
No, and it was announced that we don't see a certain character who will appear who's going to apparently be all CG, but hey, maybe we'll wait on that until later. I don't know, it's Warlock, it's fine. If you know who he is, that's exciting. I'm not spoiling it because it's in the press release.
Warlock. That's a cool name.
He's a robot.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's a space robot. He comes from a race where, like, you're born and then you're immediately supposed to kill your father, but he didn't, so then he ran away.
Oh, that's good. He didn't commit patricide.
That's what that whole race is about. Bad that he didn't.
But why would you want to kill your dad?
That's what you're supposed to do in that space robot society.
Why would you even want to have a baby?
That's a fair question.
Exactly.
Really pokes a hole right in that whole society.
Why would you want to be a father?
My son will grow up to try and kill me.
Therefore...
You know it, just not going to do it. That's a fair question. I don't know. I like it. We'll do a Mutants episode where we can dive into who these characters are and whatnot.
I want to know more about Warlock.
I don't even think he's in the Demon Bear saga.
Oh. I want to know more about the Demon Bear.
I kind of feel like we can't spoil who the Demon Bear is.
Okay.
It's like a 20-foot bear that's a demon.
Well, that sounds like you kind of spoiled it.
I didn't. There's more to the Demon Bear than just it being a big bear.
Oh, good to know.
There's more to it than just big bear. Baloo!
But Baloo was a happy bear. What about Bjorn? He was a big bear and he was angry.
No.
Wrong
bear.
He was a skin changer, though, technically.
I have some cousins that are bears.
Like legitimate bears, like Smokey the Bear?
No.
Winnie the Pooh?
No. You know what I mean.
Oh, yes.
You know how we mentioned that Star Wars has only had one real trailer and this might be the last one?
Yes.
I'm going to say it's not going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It had 120.1 million views in the first 24 hours. You know what those views also come with?
Money?
Ad revenue.
So you think they're gonna...
I think they're absolutely pumping out more trailers because that's some record-breaking stuff.
Like, are they gonna, do you think, like, just rehash a trailer or give us a whole new trailer?
I think they're
I
gonna
like the one trailer. There's some mystery to this trailer.
I don't think they care about that. I think they're going to care about wanting to get money back for marketing.
They're already gonna have a ton of money.
Why not get more if you can? If you can just put together like a 2-minute thing.
I guess so.
What are you doing? Are you playing a game?
No, I'm following this Twitter feed on Gordon Hayward, who broke his leg. I just looked at it. It is gruesome.
Fun.
Sorry.
You're scrolling so much, I just assumed it was some kind of like flicky game.
No. Everyone's going off about this injury. It's don't look at it.
Okay, but yeah, I assume if they're making that much money, because they're making hundreds of thousands, if not, yeah. Why wouldn't you release more trailers if you're going to get that kind of traffic?
Maybe they're like they get the TV spots.
Well, just when I saw that number, for a lot of the TV spots, they probably aren't even paying for. Like anything that's on ABC, they're not paying for. It's like when it premiered with football, they didn't pay for that.
No,
they just didn't give that time to someone else.
Well, that time costs money when you think about it. I mean, they lost revenue that way.
So yeah, I assume we're getting more Star Wars trailers. We got 120.1 million views in the first 24 hours.
That's a lot of views.
Yeah, that's some money right there.
How many views is that an hour? Do some quick show math. 120.1 million views in 24 hours. That's 120 million views, right? That's 5 million views an hour. That's 83,000 views a minute. That's 1,390 views a second.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, the Han Solo movie finally has a title.
Yes?
Did you see what it was?
No.
Want to take a stab in the dark at the most generic title it could be?
Han Solo.
So close.
Star Wars, a Han Solo story.
Well, the Star Wars story is at the end. Take away a word.
Star Wars, Han Solo.
Wrong direction.
Star Wars, Han Solo story?
It's just Solo. Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh.
Really uninspired.
Good to know.
Woo.
Yay, everybody.
Does that fill you with excitement and wonderment like Force Awakens or Last Jedi? Or do you just go, that's a surname?
Now, here's the question. On the poster, which, by the way, the posters for Last Jedi are awesome, is this poster just a red plastic cup?
Yes, I imagine
Is it Jar Jar playing beer pong?
I'd watch that movie.
Did you see somebody had flipped the poster over and drawn an outline and made it look like Jar Jar's face on the movie poster?
No. No. But good for them.
The internet always wins.
There's been some poster controversy.
Oh, please tell.
I wasn't even going to bring this up. But people were talking about how in every single Star Wars poster, the villain is always in the background looming over everything. You know who's in the background looming over everything in this one?
Luke.
Or it's just a poster. Those are your two options. He's evil, or it's just a poster.
I'm going to go with it's just a poster.
Probably. Speaking of money that we're going to give to Disney.
Yay!
Black Panther had its first trailer. The last one was a teaser. First official trailer. Here's my question. We've been in this Marvel Cinematic Universe for 9 years now. How do they keep making it look progressively better?
It gets better and better and better.
This trailer, that's fantastic. I just saw the Jar Jar picture. Good for him. I guess
Luke's face is his mouth.
That's fantastic.
Okay,
what a stretch of imagination that individual had.
Hooray for the internet. Anyway, as you were saying.
This is another one. I watched it a couple times. I didn't do a breakdown. It looks fantastic.
Oh, the visuals are great.
I love this new trend of like real flashy visuals. I feel like it kind of started with Guardians, then we kind of in Doctor Strange, more Guardians, and then we got this coming up.
Ragnarok, trailer for Ragnarok.
It's looking like Ragnarok's going to be. I like this new colorful version.
Yeah, it's alive, it's vibrant.
It looks great.
I like the you get the multiple Black Panther suits.
Yeah, so we see Michael B. Jordan in one as Killmonger. Definitely not a villain.
No. That's
if your name is Killmonger, you're born to be a nice man.
Or you're like got a real like Killarney. Maybe he's like an Irish Wakandan.
But everything about it just looks amazing.
Oh, some of the visuals. I like Andy Serkis. Like his character was in it. Pretty cool.
As Ulysses Claw, and we get to see him shoot his sound cannon. Because for a guy named Claw, he doesn't have a claw. He just has a gun on the end of his hand.
He also is missing an arm, but that's...
Well, he replaces it with a gun that shoots sound.
Is he either any relation to Dr. Claw from
he at least has
Inspector
more of a
Gadget?
claw thing going on. Ulysses Claw has an attachment on the end of his arm that just shoots sound. It can also make giant jungle animals out of sound. We'll read that story in a few months.
Oh, excellent.
Black Panther, he's less in the movies, but in the books. Just gonna give you his origin story. Tell me if this sounds familiar at all. He was a young boy.
His parents die?
His parents died in front of him, and then he used his wealth and resources to become educated and the strongest man around to gain vengeance for them for using that wealth and many resources to try and better the world. Using an animal as his alias.
Also wearing dark costume, too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He sounds a lot like Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, like no one else we've ever heard of. Sounds like a marketable idea, though. I'll take that to the bank.
Some kind of bat boy.
Yeah. Look, he's Batman. He's Batman. That's what he is. It's amazing, though. But we're doing that less in this version, though, because he was killed by Baron Zemo, or his dad was killed by Baron Zemo in the Civil War movie.
Yes.
Not by Claw like he is in the books.
Ah.
But yeah, Black Panther is basically just Marvel's Batman. Unlike Daredevil, who is Marvel's Batman, or Nighthawk, who is Marvel's Batman. There's a lot of Marvel's Batman.
Marvel wanted to have a Batman of their own.
They really just should have gotten Batman, but they didn't.
No.
I really have nothing bad to say about this. I love Ryan Coogler as a director. This is only his third movie, but man, he delivers. And I'm excited. And Michael B. Jordan looks great. We haven't really seen him do much before, but we got a few lines out of him. He sounds like he's just bringing it. I want this movie.
The fights look good.
That's going to be our 100th episode, is talking about Black Panther.
Oh, wow.
Maybe we should supplement it with something else. Maybe we will, maybe we won't.
We'll supplement it with our awesomeness,
Yes, there we go.
as we do with every show.
But I was thinking about it. I was like, maybe we'll just skip it and like do something different for the 100th. Then I saw that trailer. I'm like, no.
Nope.
No.
Doing the Black Panther.
We're talking about that movie. Maybe we'll like skip letters that week and try and do a different thing. I don't know. We'll rate the top 100 episodes of our show.
Ooh.
Skip the first 9 months. Okay. And then the New Year's show. After that, they're good, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, the New Year's show wasn't as bad as the first episode.
I will never go back.
The first episode, we didn't know what we were doing.
Like, unless you...
I don't know how different that is than we are now.
If you die, I'll go back. Beyond that, there is no chance of me listening
Like a
to
tribute
that.
show?
No, just like, remember how young he was in his early 30s.
Nostalgia,
That's-
baby.
That is the only chance of me going back listening to that show is if you die.
Okay.
And now, sadly, that I've said this out loud, I am now contractually obligated to go back in that scenario.
Now here, let's bring it full circle. What if you were the cause of my demise? Would you go back and listen to it?
I think I would make you listen to it while I was causing your demise.
Oh, that's cruel and unusual. There's a constitutional provision against that.
We're out of movie news. Wait, no, we're not. Let's stick in movie news.
Mm.
Sorry, I forgot to write down a thing and then I remembered it later. Mark Ruffalo came out this week and said, this is a direct quote. It's not a quote. I didn't write down the quote. I just read it and now I'm generalizing. Exciting, I know.
Wow, that's a weird citation of what you're about to say.
Because Universal doesn't want to play ball and they have the solo Hulk movie rights and they don't really want to play with Marvel because, you know, this was actually Mark Ruffalo's quote, because they hate money.
Fair
I
enough.
think he said that one a while ago, though. Kevin Feige came up to him and said, like, hey, we can't really do a solo thing. What do you want to see to happen with the Hulk? And he said, oh, I want to see XYZ. And Feige went, that's great. Let's do that. We're going to do it over the next 3 movies. The Hulk is going to have a 3-movie arc.
Yeah.
So starting in Thor Ragnarok is going to be the start of kind of a Hulk B-plot, I guess, going throughout the next 3 movies. So, like, starting with Thor and going through Avengers 3 and 4. We'll see what that is. I know we're kind of getting some of Planet Hulk in this one. Are we going to get World War Hulk? Is the Hulk going to get pissed and take over the world?
Does he side with Thanos?
No. They fought a bunch of times. Is he going to, like, get abandoned thinking, like, that he's dead or something and he comes back to New York? He's like, to hell with all of you. He just beats up all the Avengers. Do you not want to see that movie?
Maybe he kills Tony.
He beats up Tony pretty bad in World War Hulk. Tony is the second person he beats up in that story.
Who's the first?
Black Bolt. He stops at the moon and beats him up.
Just, on my way to Earth, I was in the neighborhood.
Basically, he's coming from space and beats up Black Bolt and then goes and beats up Tony in Hulkbuster armor. It's a good time. And then Doctor Strange tries to, like, befriend him, who has recently healed his hands, and he just crushes them, breaking them all over again.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And then basically puts electrocution devices on everyone and says, now fight to the death for my amusement, and if you don't, I'm going to electrocute you to death. Hulk out.
Wow.
It's amazing. I love World War Hulk.
And that's all because they accidentally killed his wife.
They didn't do it. Something else did. I don't want to spoil it.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. You don't actually know who did it.
I don't.
Because you read Planet Hulk.
I did read Planet Hulk.
But you didn't read World War Hulk where it wasn't actually them.
Oh.
Ooh, twist.
Intriguing.
Yeah.
I remembered a thing from a thing we read.
Yeah, that's true, but I forgot you don't actually know what actually did it.
No, I don't know who
Planet
actually
Hulk
did it.
teases you out. Yeah. So that's the thing. I'm excited for it. I'm sad that we can't get like a solo Hulk movie, but whatever. If you have to do like an Avengers movie, just make him the star of it. Do it.
Okay.
Let's work around some legalese.
Yes.
And some feeble knees.
Please. In
Don't know
trees.
why- Don't know why I tried to go for a rhyme there. How are your knees? Are they feeble?
They're fine.
I mean, mine are.
Yeah, you're kind of an old man.
I have terrible knees. It's not even a joke. I just have terrible knees.
Mm.
Caused a lot of problems in my life.
Can you climb trees with your feeble knees? As you please?
Look, I can tell you...
Or
when-
is there some sort of degenerative disease that gives you the queeze?
I can tell you when a storm is coming in.
For rees. On the breeze. For she's. Cheese.
I'm gonna kick you in your splees.
Ease.
Let's talk comic book news.
In threes.
Hate that I have 3 comic book stories.
Oh,
I
yeah!
hate you so much.
Woo! I didn't even look at the notes either.
I know. Len Wein, legendary writer / editor / recently deceased Len Wein.
Yes?
Apparently he was working on a new Swamp Thing story with artist Kelly Jones. They had done a 6-part mini last year, and this was supposed to follow up on that. He completed issue 1 and then, passed away relatively young. So that final Swamp Thing issue is going to be released in Swamp Thing The Winter Special #1, which I also think is the last Winter Special. But it's going to have some stuff from other artists in there as well, like Tom King, current Batman, Mr. Miracle scribe, is going to have a story in there. So I think it's going to be like an oversized Swamp Thing story, but also including Len Wein, the co-creator of Swamp Thing, doing his final story in there.
Yay for the Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing's one of my favorite characters. We're not doing it this year. If the show makes it another year, I imagine that will probably be one of our Halloween shows.
What do you mean if the show makes it another year?
If I want to pay for upping the
subscription fee,
whatever it costs me to be a website.
Oh.
It's not cheap. Right now, Patreon gets me like halfway there. Keep on giving to Patreon so I can get the rest of the way there.
Yay, Patreon!
At this point, that's what Patreon's doing, paying for the website.
Hey, good for you, Patreon.
It's got me like halfway there.
Are you living on a prayer? Did you used to work on the docks?
I was trying to think of what lyrics came after that.
Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear.
Yeah, I got those ones. Yeah, then I didn't say them. But yeah, that's the thing. So the Swamp Thing Winter Special, I think, is coming out in January, which will include Len Wein's final Swamp Thing story, which is kind of sad, but it's nice that there's a little bit more work to see.
Yay, Len Wein.
Do you like to kneel before Zod?
Nope.
Well, then, some of you are going to say yes. Because I would say, then I have the story for you!
No, I'm not going to kneel before a warlord from an alien planet.
Well, General Zod is going to be going to space. He's been hanging on out Earth for a little bit, causing some ruckus.
Yeah, go back to space, Zod.
He is going to space.
Attaboy, Zod.
And he's going to fight all of the Green Lanterns.
That's a poor life decision, Zod.
Probably be fine. He's probably going to punch a bunch up. He'll punch a Kilowog. He'll punch that squirrel that's a Green Lantern. He'll punch that planet that's a Green Lantern.
Ego?
No.
Oh. Different living planet
Although
thing?
If you're interested in reading about Ego,
Mr. Magoo?
read Thor 700 out this week.
Yay, 700.
If you might want to see something about Ego, and also the best book that Marvel is producing. But yeah, that's the thing. I've got kind of excited about that. I've fallen off the Green Lantern book in recent months, but they were like, we're going to have a story where General Zod just beats everyone up. I was like, okay, I'll read that. You have me back for now, Green Lantern. Entice me. Coming this January, speaking of January, there is going to be a 16-part story for the Avengers. It's going to be coming out weekly, titled No Surrender. And with this month's solicits, it is said that the first Avenger will fall. Who could that be? Is it Captain America?
He was the first Avenger, yes.
Or is it going to be going back to like the 1 million PC Avengers where Odin's running around?
Oh.
Or does someone just trip and fall over? It just was such an epic term, it'd be so much funnier if like someone was just like, whoa! And they went down quickly, like, skin my knee and a back.
Yeah. Ah. Ooh.
We gave what we promised. The first Avenger fell over there.
Yes.
We'll see. It sounds like they're working towards the death of another major character, even though they're currently working towards the death of the current Thor. Working towards a lot of death. Cleaning house a little.
Oh, the end of the year. Some fall cleaning. Some winter prep, if you would.
Yeah.
Getting rid of dead wood.
So we'll see. The Avengers, they're not calling it an event, but the 16-part story coming to stores near you, meaning me.
Like the Editor's Note Comics store.
Buy it from me.
In Hollowell.
But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it until I'm not. Hopefully I'll enjoy it the whole way. Look, if it's bad, I'll just tell you up front.
Hey, thank you. Here, buy this. It sucks, but buy it anyway.
I think that's my hardest part about, the hardest part about my job is QuickBooks. The second hardest part of my job is I hate when people ask me, like, oh, how's this? And it sucks. And I just have to go, yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah. I know that you look like you want to spend money on it, but don't.
I'd rather build my reputation up of, like, oh, I'll give you, like, honest feedback about a thing more than, like, it's amazing! You should buy it!
Yeah.
So when people are like, how is this? I'm like, it's not good.
Have you learned?
I hate to say
have you learned
but it's
the
not
art
good.
of, like, having a backup plan for them? Like, oh, I really want to read this. What do you think of it? That wasn't really good, but if you're looking for something like this, I would read this.
I got plenty of those.
Attaboy.
But yeah, I hate that when people are like ready to buy a thing. They're like, how is this? And they're like, that's not very good. So sorry to say. Please buy it though. See if I'm right.
Don't judge him on his winners. Judge him on his losers. Because he has so few.
I guess that's the news.
Short news week.
Wasn't that short?
Felt short.
Just because last week was seriously overloaded.
Yeah, probably.
But it's Halloween!
Not yet.
It's the month of October. I've been enjoying Halloween as much as I can with a very busy schedule. But darn it, I've been squeezing it in like my pumpkin.
The front was exciting. The back was a little terse.
Just saying, I'm going to write that.
You get any trick-or-treaters, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be a terrible trick, not so much a treat.
I guess it depends on who you are.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it does.
Oh, my. Moving on to another Halloween-filled... I just love Halloween. Halloween-filled... Stop it. Jared's Reading Corner.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Santa?
Usually you're excited because it's your birthday.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah, birthday. Woo!
No one can see that. Stop dancing.
It's celebration.
It wasn't even dancing. You looked like a chicken. You're doing a chicken neck.
Yeah, because I can still move my neck. I'm flexible. I did notice...
You can still move your neck. Who can't move their neck?
Old people.
I just had an aneurysm of stupid.
Wow, that sounds painful. I did notice today when I got out of the shower and I was drying my hair, I have a plethora of gray hair now. Like right here. Check this shit out, man.
Oh, yeah. You're working the Reed Richards. You got it right on the temples.
It's right on the temples.
It's a straight reed.
It's also like right in this like lower part of my beard, but it's mostly right on the temples.
Yeah, you're working the Reed
like a
Richards.
Charles Shaughnessy look too. Anyway,
this is a comic book podcast.
Oh, sorry.
We're talking about gray hair.
Yeah, Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Anyone else? It's like an inverse J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes. This week we're keeping it local. Did you realize that?
Yeah, Stephen King's son, right?
Yeah.
With
this
his
week,
pen name.
Yeah, we're doing Locke Key, the first graphic novel. This is a series that does have a definitive ending. We're just doing the first chunk of them. Written by Joe Hill, a.k.a. Joseph King. I assume that's his actual name.
I worked for his dad once.
We all know.
I keep bringing Stephen King into the play. I'm going to remind people that I once worked for the Master of Horror. He paid for my dinner twice.
You didn't meet him, though, did you?
I never met him, which was weird. He would show up at like random late night hours of the station, and I was there late nights, and I never, ever met him in the 2.5 years I worked there.
And art by Gabriel Rodriguez. Locke & Key came out mid-2000s. I'm not going to look up the exact year. Let's say 2006, 2007. I guess you could check the copyright.
It's not that hard to look at the front of the book and
I know, we
see
literally
when it
have
came
it.
out. 2016.
No. Maybe this printing that we're looking at, but this came out about 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's no way for us to find out. We'll never know. It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I know because I was reading them as they came out issue by issue.
I didn't have to wait issue by issue. I binge read.
Because the first 6 were there.
Yes.
But seeing as how I'm not Jared, take it away.
Ah, yes. Well, this is called Locke & Key, Welcome to Lovecraft. And it kind of starts out in flashbacky mode in Mendocino Valley, which is in California, if you care to know.
I would say compared to the other Halloween stories we've done, at least this year.
Yes.
Because we did some last year. This is not for the faint of heart.
No, this one is more... This one feels more horror movie-like. I could see this being like a horror movie.
It's been
or
optioned a few times for a TV show, and I think it's finally going through.
Maybe not horror, but like what kind of genre would you call like a movie like? Did you ever see The Cell?
Yeah.
Or you never saw Fallen, did you?
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Denzel Washington and John Goodman.
I don't think so.
It's like I wouldn't call it like straight up like pure horror, but it has like psychological thriller with some elements of horror and gratuitous graphic violence.
I would put this under horror, and if you want to put a subcategory on it, sci-fi.
Yeah, sci-fi horror.
Or I don't know. Sci-fi and fantasy get kind of interchanged. One of those two. There's some things that happen that are supernatural.
Yes.
Along with people getting shot in the face.
And stabbed in the neck with a pair of scissors.
Or hit in the back of the head with an axe.
Yes. Or
being burned on a boat.
Yes. No, burned in a bus. Shot on a boat.
My mistake.
Sorry. Shot and burned in a bus.
Yeah, if you want to get specific.
Yes. Dying and coming back to life multiple times.
Okay, that one's less of the...
Less gruesome?
Yeah.
Anyway, this follows the story of the Locke family. And the patriarch of the Locke family is a teacher, principal...
Wasn't he a guidance counselor?
Guidance counselor. Yeah, guidance counselor. He's some sort of academic figure of academia to a young man who is troubled and has a stereotypical genre-specific, well, not just genre-specific, but stereotypical poor relationship with his eldest son.
Yeah. A father who...
A father figure to many, but his own.
Oh, I was talking about the other father. Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yes, the guidance counselor father, who is good to other boys, but has trouble connecting with his own son.
Yes.
As there are a family of 5. The eldest son, I don't know what the middle one is, the middle girl,
Yes.
and the little boy, and the weirdly hot wife.
A weirdly hot wife.
Well, just because he's kind of a rotund gentleman.
He's a big guy. He's an NFL lineman.
And
he's not really fat. He's just big boned and muscular.
He has we shall call her busty wife.
Yes, a bosom bound lady friend. Anyway,
I don't know. We can talk about I don't want to give away how it all ends and some of the twists and turns, but the short version is the father, for reasons, very early on in the book, meets an untimely end.
Yes.
And
we go on to find out why, but Dad doesn't make it very far into the story.
No. And what really sells me early on in this book comes down to the art. We see the funeral, and it's not quick. You just see the eldest son sitting outside of the main area, and you see time passing. You see people approaching him and trying to comfort him. But for the most part, it's a very static image that you just see repeated over and over and over again while he's trying to process the death of his father by himself, and then others coming to comfort him and failing. And it just immediately, after some of the initial kind of horror stuff, it's a big character moment, which is going to bring me into the story more than just boo, here's a scare. Boo, here's a scare. Oh, there's an axe to the back of someone's head kind of deal.
Yes.
It's the character moments in this that make the story work for me a lot more than just we're a creepy book. It's a book that also takes the time to develop and establish characters really well, and we get a good pairing of script and art where they feel like they're really synced up, and
the art
it works really well, because you can often feel in a lot of books where if the two aren't quite on the same wavelength. We're dealing with a creative team here that are definitely playing off of each other very well.
Yes, but the art is good. And you can tell, the Stephen King influence on his son. These are very Stephen King-ish characters. And I like the exploration of, the father and son dynamic throughout the book.
I mean, sure, there's no alcoholic writer, but at least we get some stereotypical bullies.
Yes, we do have the stereotypical bullies. And the family, and so on and so forth. But anyway, this one guy, Tyler's kind of I wouldn't say Tyler's the main character. He's the oldest son.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't qualify really.
A main character. The young boy, kind of, a little bit. But really, it also kind of follows this guy, Sam Lesser, who is the man, the young person who kills Mr. Locke, and several other people. 5, actually, to be exact, before the book really gets going.
He's real murdery.
He's real murdery.
His modus operandi is to murder.
Yes, and we find out why. It's kind of interesting how that all plays out.
Yeah, his
motives are really quite different.
Without spoiling them, because there are some more than just, kid with an abusive father and a bad home life. There's some supernatural elements that work into this, and we can touch on some of them, but some of them it's a book worth reading, so I don't want to spoil all of the assorted things. I guess the short version is the dad dies. They all end up moving to Massachusetts, not Maine. Yeah. Because Joe Hill, he's different from Stephen King. Did
you also pick up the mom got raped?
Did she?
Yeah. You didn't pick up on that?
No.
So, right here, that frame.
I guess, yeah. No, I didn't notice that. You're right.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
I'm learning to read the comic books better now.
Thanks for pointing that out. I wish you didn't read that one that well, but yes.
Sorry.
There's a rape.
Yeah.
Fantastic, because this book wasn't dark enough.
No, it was pretty dark. But she then puts an axe in the back of the dude's head.
I feel good about that. But the family moves from California to Massachusetts.
Yes.
Because, New England.
To Lovecraft, Massachusetts.
And they're all very surprised that they are living in a house that has a name.
Yes. Not only does this house have a name.
The Key House.
The Key House. But it also has some mystical properties, too, which the young boy discovers, which is also kind of... Those are weird and unsettling images, kind of.
Yeah, basically, part of the world building this does, we don't get all of it, is that within this house that has to be guarded, is that there are certain keys within it, and certain keys
Yes.
open up different doors that will do different things. We only get examples of 2 of those keys, but if you continue to read the story, you'll get examples of more keys opening different doors that will do different things. We have the death key in here that you turn the key, you go through the door, and you die, but you become a spirit, and you can kind of spirit yourself about.
Yes.
If people are thinking about you, you might be drawn to that, or if you think about someone really hard, you can go to that. And we have the youngest child, who is the only one who's doing this, and no one believes that, like, he's really, becoming a ghost and flying all about.
Yeah, he writes a little comic about it for his teacher in his new school.
And they're like, this isn't
your
normal.
Your boy's definitely got problems, and we understand that because he's been through a traumatic life experience. But Bodhi, the boy's name.
He can't be scaring the other children.
No, and in typical, like, Stephen King fashion, even though this isn't Stephen King, the young kid is kind of the linchpin to a lot of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So.
He's got the shinning.
Yes, the shinning.
Well, he doesn't want to get sued.
No. All work and no play make James a dull boy.
I was like, are you going to get where I'm going with this?
I picked up on it.
Such a good episode.
Yes.
No beer, no TV, make Homer something.
I like the art in some of these panels. Like the house it becomes creative. The house is a character. I really like that aspect to it.
Yeah, it's super gothic.
But the one thing that we kind of get introduced to is the well house.
Mm-hmm.
And that holds some mystical properties that Bodhi comes across. Don't want to give it away. But the well house is a big part in this.
Yeah, there's a spirit in there. And when he talks to it, he thinks that he's just talking to his echo.
But the echo talks back.
I don't know. This book deals very big on suspense. It's fun to read it as a collected edition. I had a lot more fun reading it as individual issues as they were coming out because every single issue ends with kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And when you were reading it month to month, it was like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? Versus when you're reading it collected, you're like, what happens next? There it is.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
okay, I found it. Yeah, this one probably... I know last week we had some talk about, like, and then there's a twist. This one is much more of a suspense thriller, I guess.
Yeah. Thriller's a good term for it. I can see, too, like, at the chapter breaks, how you would be like, especially at the end of the second... Is this the end of the second book? Yeah, it's the end of the second book, where Bodhi does something for the mysterious spirit in the well, and that spirit in the well then transfers these items that Bodhi gave it to another key character.
Yeah, boy, just for the sake of transparency, I guess, because this is kind of a tough book to talk about without spoiling the whole thing. With this family now living in Massachusetts and all of these supernatural elements that they need to protect but don't know that they need to protect, their family is also being hunted by the young man who killed the patriarch of the family.
Yes.
He's coming, and not only is he coming, he is being egged on by supernatural spirits that are in Massachusetts.
Which might be even, well, we kind of learn what his reasonings are in the first place for chasing this family.
But a lot of what this has to do, it's not just about the supernatural, it's about the horror. It's about how these people deal with a major traumatic family event. How do you deal with your father dying? And they do it from different aspects. They do it from the eldest son. Like, how does someone who feels like the burden to become kind of quote-unquote the man of the house deal with it? How does the daughter deal with it who doesn't really have any role model? How does the youngest son deal with it who's never had any kind of life experience? How does the wife deal with it? The answer, side note, is wine. And lots of it.
Yes. I like some of the foreshadowing, which I didn't pick up on until I was kind of glancing through it again. Like with the tractor trailer truck and the bus in his dream.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's a book that's worth revisiting.
Yeah, it's really interesting and amazing stuff.
I think the best kind of stories are the stories where it almost feels like the author goes, okay, I'm going to have a thing here. How can it play in a different spot? So you kind of get different layers of storytelling. And this is one of those books where you can see the different layers that all kind of connect the story, where it doesn't feel like it's just moving forward. It feels like the whole thing has kind of this interconnective tissue.
It's well laced together, the layers of it and the different intertwining of interactions between people. It's well put together, I think.
Yeah, and the whole series continues on like this. There is a continuation of it gets just deeper and deeper into the lore. In this first collection does a good job of introducing you to just the basic elements. There are keys inside the house. The keys do different things. And there are forces coming to get them. And this family, this broken family, is what's going to stop supernatural forces from gaining access to these all-powerful keys.
Yeah. Which it says at the end there's more to come, right?
Plenty more.
Have there been more?
Oh yeah, the story is done now. Like, it has a very definitive ending.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad it does.
Yeah, but maybe not compared to some of the stuff we did last year, but this is probably the darkest thing that we've read this year.
In some time, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I was,
It could make you very uncomfortable.
It did, but it also, like, had a weird way of pulling me in and, like, being more in depth with it.
I think it's the character moments. Every one of the characters, we didn't talk about, like, every family member, like, deeply, but every single one of them has a very specific arc, and time is taken to give every character a certain arc while still making things suspenseful and still, like, pulling you into the science fiction aspects of it.
The changes that, like, Kinsey, the daughter, undergoes.
I love that character. She's a great character.
She's a cool character. Because she just wants to try and be normal.
Yeah, and we've talked about her the least because she probably moves the plot forward the least, but she has probably the most growth as a character. The middle child.
Yeah. Tyler's kind of, I don't know, Tyler was...
Oh, and some of the stuff she goes through is devastating. Like, when her father is killed, she takes her youngest brother up on a roof. They hide behind a chimney. And she mentions that, like, afterwards, in order to keep him quiet, like, she was choking.
Bruised his neck,
yeah.
And then she had this thing about biting her lip. And that's, like, her coping mechanism. Like, she bites her lip till she bleeds.
And just to keep, the two of them quiet while, like, father is being killed, mother they thought was killed, and all these terrible things. And it's a very dark book.
Just the psychological aspect of that whole thing, too.
It's insanely engaging. This is a really, really great book as a whole. And it's a book that's gotten a lot of praise. And like I said, it's had a bunch of false starts on, is it going to be a TV show? Is it going to be a movie? It keeps on not quite happening. I think there was a unaired pilot you can find for it, probably on the internet. I've never seen it myself, but there is a pilot that exists for this that's supposedly pretty good.
Really?
I can't speak to it. I've never seen it, but it has had a bunch of false starts. And, unlike a Spider-Man or a Superman, this is a finite story. There is a definitive beginning, middle, end. It reads strongly through the entire thing. I highly recommend it, as long as you're okay seeing some relatively horrific things.
Yeah, there's some true gruesomeness into it.
But not overplayed. It doesn't feel like every issue has to have, like, a gross thing. It just, they play them when they need them.
Yeah, the violence isn't just, like, violence for violence sake. It's
not, and we brought it up a bit, it's not all over the place, but it's certainly memorable when it happens.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't overplay their hand, which actually I think makes it more intense than just like, okay, I'm flipping a page, there's some more violence.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tough book to talk about without spoiling.
And you don't want to spoil a book like this. You've got to read it.
It's really very excellent.
Because you don't want to, it's like, it's got the great twists in it that you don't want to, like last week, you don't want to give away the twists because they're kind of a little unexpected. This one, like the big twist at the end, I kind of expected it.
Yeah.
But it also, like, sets the table up for more.
For all the stuff we're doing this month, and you can't quite speak to it yet, this one is probably my favorite that we're going to do just from...
And you did it for my birthday week.
Yay! Just from a story point of view, I think this is probably the strongest storytelling we're going to get. Like, the last one that we did, Creep Show, that's great. Very classic kind of horror stories. Everybody's Dead is just fun. This one, for me, is, like, just the kind of tightest,
this one is
on the edge of storytelling.
Of everything that we've done so far this month, and getting a glance at what we're doing next week.
Yeah, next week is silly.
This is definitely, like, true horror, like, scare, not even scare, but just, like, the psychological. Like, that's, like, the thing for me. Like, I don't like movies with, like, jumps. I just don't like that. But, like, a horror movie, like a scary movie or a thriller, where it kind of has you uncomfortable, I don't mind that. I kind of like the adrenaline from it. I kind of got a little bit of that at times from this, where it's not just the boogeyman's behind the corner, or the person, like, is looking in the mirror, then they put their head down to, like, wash their face, and they bring their head back up, and there's the...
Like the poltergeist kind of...
Yeah, those things are like, I don't like those. But, like, a couple of jump scares every now and then are, but, like, in, like, the movie Signs. I wouldn't call Signs, like, a scary movie. It's like a thriller, like a psychological kind of piece, I think. Like, you get the one kind of jump scare when you see the alien for the first time reflected in the TV. That kind of gets you a little bit, but after that, or when he, like, reaches under the pantry door.
I actually questioned, because I hadn't read this in a couple of years. I reread it as can I even give this to Jared?
I handled it.
I see that.
Hold me tonight.
Proud of you.
Can I sleep with the nightlight on in your room?
You can stay in the guest room. Side note, there's a bunch of clothes on that bed that haven't been folded. You can fold my laundry.
That's like my guest bed.
No, it's not like yours. It's still somehow cleaner than yours.
My guest bed is clean.
Are you talking about the bed that isn't assembled or the bed that just has a bunch of your things on it?
It's the bed that has a bunch of clean laundry on it.
Okay.
The bed that's not assembled is missing a key component, the bed part.
I do love that you just have all of the pieces of a bed frame assembled around nothing.
They're not even assembled.
Well, I'm sorry, I misspoke. They look like they're about ready to be put together, but they're not.
I'm kind of trying to Wizard's Apprentice that. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, I should say. Wizard's Apprentice. Chuckle. I chortle at myself.
I don't know. Locke Key is amazing. I highly recommend it. And the supernatural stuff I didn't get really to dive into that much just because it kind of spoils it, but the supernatural elements add some good scares as well.
It does, and the other thing about the supernatural elements is it kind of does play on actual mythos.
Yeah, and I don't just recommend reading the first one, but I recommend really the entire series. The first one gives you a soupçon of the world.
Wow, soupçon! Look at you.
Yeah, fancy as shit.
You are. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, if you like Stephen King-esque stories, this one definitely falls into that category. I recommend it. For the booze.
Yes.
And really, I don't know. It's not the scares. I like the tense feeling it gives. I like the characters. And I like how it makes you want to find out what happens next with the sci-fi stuff.
How it all plays out at the end.
Yeah, it's not about...
You get a feeling that this family is cursed.
Yeah.
And the father was trying to protect them from something.
Oh, yeah, you definitely get that. I guess that'll do it. Our recommendation is to buy and read this.
Yes.
In that order.
Specifically from Editor's Note Comics.
Preferably.
210 Water Street in Hollowell. Where you just might find a copy of this book.
It's just me. Moving on from there, I gotta get some of these for myself as well. I really love these books. Moving on to letters to the editors.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
Halloween edition.
Ooh.
Shoot, I should have done that now that I said that out loud. Quick! For next week, someone send me a Halloween-related question.
What's your favorite? Actually, no, I can't ask that because I know you don't like candy.
Reese's.
Oh, that was easy.
It's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I don't really like other candy.
The peanut butter cups, not the pieces.
No, not really. I mean, they're fine, but yeah.
There's less chocolate.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, I don't like sugar, basically, unless it's peanut butter.
I kind of have a craving now for
chocolate.
a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like sugar.
What are your thoughts on candy corn?
Gross. Real gross.
Let's see, what else? What about mint things, like mint chocolate? You just don't like chocolate?
I just don't like sugar. I don't over the weekend.
You'd be a terrible aunt.
It depends. I don't like over processed sugar. Over the weekend, I was out. I went out to one of the farms.
I saw you may have collected pumpkins and apples.
I did. Yeah. No, I was out at Ricker Hill, and I got.
I do like Ricker Hill.
I got a donut, and they're great. They're fresh, made there, all that kind of stuff.
They make great stuff there.
So sugar like that. I got no.
Did you get
about.
Speaking of Ricker Hill, did you get any of their ciders?
I got a non-alcoholic cider.
What?
I just had a regular apple cider.
I need to bring you. I have a couple extra bottles of the maple cider that they make.
Oh, I guess I haven't had that.
It's really good.
I've had their regular one, but not their maple one. But no, I had a donut out there, and that was amazing. Yes. I like that kind of sugar, but I don't like super over processed sugar.
You don't
stuff.
like the just pure sugar.
No, it's not my thing.
At least this was baked in a delicious good.
Oh yeah, and they were still warm. It's so
was
good.
it a pumpkin donut or apple donut?
I think it was an apple one. Must have been.
Was it baked or fried?
I don't know. Donut.
You can do either. You can bake them or you can
Oh, I had bought it there.
Oh, okay.
I just bought one donut. I had one donut and one apple cider.
Why did you get a non-alcoholic apple cider?
Because I was drinking it in the car.
Oh.
Call it road cider.
We know people that's what road soda would sound like. Road cider.
Yeah, no, because my throat was going to be a little dry after having a donut, so I bought a quart of cider to go with it.
You drank the whole quart of cider as you drove away?
Yeah.
I do like cider.
I don't know what to tell you.
Regular, yes. I like regular cider.
Yes, I drank a cider in the car.
Good for you.
Sorry. How dare you drink one little quart of cider?
Was it Dickens cider?
No, it was Ricker Hill.
Oh.
We've established this.
You totally missed the joke that you have to edit out.
Yeah, I know. I got it.
You know what's good on a cold day? Hot Dickens cider.
Fun.
I find that to be humorous. Sophomoric, but humorous.
Yeah, that was great. I love the fall. I love Halloween. So send me some Halloween questions now that I say this out loud. We don't have any, so I need one. I need two.
We only have 1 week left of Halloween shows.
We have 2 weeks.
I
2
have
weeks.
2 weeks of Halloween shows.
Because we're going to record one on the 31st, even though it doesn't come out until early November.
What if we get trick-or-treaters in the middle of the episode at your house?
I would be shocked. 2 weeks left of Halloween shows, so send me 2 Halloween questions.
Okay.
We need them. Twitter, email, Facebook, in person.
Well, we're coming up with daylight savings time. That's only a couple of weeks away.
Well, I'm disappointed that I have... So now that I've disparaged this question many a time.
Okay, well, what is the question?
The question that was sent to me via Twitter: who are the characters in Runaways and the new X-Men show The Gifted? Guess what? I'm not answering the Runaways one. Actually,
Warlock, he's in that.
No, Warlock is in New Mutants. Runaways, I'm not answering. That show is coming out next month on Hulu. And the reason I'm not going to answer it is because they're doing the first arc. I just feel like that would spoil the surprise.
Okay.
I will say, for one of the characters in Runaways, one of them is a mutant, so I'm curious how they're going to work that out within the storytelling, because they don't have the right to the word mutant. And we've had that come up once so far in Age of Ultron, and the answer was, a big stick did it. So we'll see what happens this time.
Big stick. I like that answer better.
It was a big stick. What do you want? Who are the characters in The Gifted, the new Fox X-Men show? I've watched the first 2 episodes. I think I watched 1 as of last week. Still continues to be fine. I'll give it a chance beyond this.
Oh, wow. Live long and prosper.
The short answer is most of them are made up for the show. They use a lot of names or terms that might mean something else. The main character is the Strucker family, but it's not the Struckers.
Didn't you say last week, like, it sounds like these things are things, but they're not really things?
Yeah, they were like, the Sentinel, like, branch of the military compared to, like, giant robots is just paramilitary guys.
Oh.
Woo! Woo!
Clever on their part. Good on them.
Nah.
Good on them.
But, yeah, the Struckers are being used, except they're not, like, members of Hydra. And they're these 2 kids. Like, well, is it going to be the Strucker twins who are these 2 evil things? Like, it might be. It might not be. They have different names and different powers, so who the hell knows? Probably just playing off the name. And then, like, the main mutant in there is like, who the hell is this guy? Like, I don't recognize him at all. You know why I didn't recognize him?
He's not real?
Made up for the show.
Ah.
Really helped me not knowing who he was.
You're like, this mysterious fellow. I feel like I should know him.
Yeah, basically, I was like, I got a pretty good grasp on X-Men lore, and I have no idea who this is. But there are a few, specifically 3, who are X-Men characters that they're using in the show.
Okay.
Number 1, who you saw in Days of Future Past.
Number 1.
No, this is a lady.
Oh, sorry.
Blink.
Blink?
Blink. She makes portals. That's her thing.
Oh, okay, cool, got it.
She was in Days of Future Past. The only one on this list who was in Days of Future Past, or really any other X-Men movies, so far she is the only reused character from the overall Fox X-Men universe. Blink. Makes portals. It's a thing. Super handy to get from point A to point B.
Yes, saves on time. Cheaper than Uber.
Number 2, Thunderbird. John Proudstar, Native American hero. He debuted in one of the most famous... What?
That is so...
1975.
Yes, it is.
Debuted in 1975 in Giant Size X-Men number 1. Written by the recently deceased Len Wein. So show some respect.
It's like, here's the formula for making a 1970s Native American name. Adjective, animal, or celestial object.
John Proudstar.
Yeah, John Proudstar. Here, how about, or like...
Thunderbird is his code name.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty much, isn't that the formula for like creating a really tacky, probably like right now tasteless Native American name? Is just use an adjective and then some sort of natural event or nature thing. Like, how about Hank Happy River?
I'll buy that idea for $1. I'll buy your Hank Happy River.
Like, I don't like want to make light or make fun of it. Like, that's just...
No.
John, let me think if I can come up with another one. Like, what about James Angry Cloud?
His brother's name is James Proudstar.
Yes.
And his code name is Warpath.
Was that really a name?
Not making that up.
Angry Cloud?
No, James Proudstar, Warpath.
Yes.
There's not an X-Men named Angry Cloud.
Anyway, move on.
He's around. He debuted in Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975 and was promptly killed 2 issues later. So, big history on that guy.
Deep cuts.
He was, well, not really. I mean, he basically got out-Wolverined by Wolverine. He was the team rebel who wouldn't go along with anything and was a real loudmouth. Then it turns out they had Wolverine and they went, well, I guess we have to kill the one that's not as fun. So he's in the show. It's like, oh, God, we haven't seen him yet because, quick death. And then we have Polaris. Green-haired Polaris. Daughter of Magneto.
But didn't Magneto's daughter die?
He's had many children.
So he's he's a man whore?
A bit, yeah.
Oh. Is it his magnetic personality?
Probably.
Oh.
Yeah, he did have one daughter that died in backup in X-Men Classics. You only know that because of that crappy movie. But yes, that did happen. And now Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch apparently aren't his kids anymore. They are his children on and off. But a pretty consistent one.
They just decide when they want to be dad.
Yeah.
Oh, you got money this week, Magneto? You're my dad.
More of, who owns the movie rights to me? You may or may not be my dad. And Polaris, Lorna Dane, also has the power over magnetism. She's Lady Magneto, but with green hair.
What about Thomas Bigtree?
At this point, I don't even know if you're being insensitive or not, or just making fun of Marvel.
I'm making fun of Marvel,
Okay.
Mostly. I'm making fun of Marvel's insensitivity.
Yeah, and that's Polaris. She has a relationship with new TV mutant, who has no established continuity, and that's all I really have to say about her. Green hair, daughter of Magneto.
That's all I have to say about that.
Magnetic powers, just like Daddy. Answer to that question, not Halloween themed.
No.
Send me some Halloween ones.
Yes.
Please.
A Halloween mailbag next week, perhaps.
If you could. And just to preempt you, best movie monster is Karloff playing Frankenstein's monster.
I wasn't going to ask
Done.
that.
Okay.
Who's the worst movie monster?
Worst movie monster?
Like, you just watch it and you're like, that's ridiculous.
No, this will take... Give me a sec. Of all time, are we talking about like the old, like, Golden Age? Or
let's go with the old school, like the Columbia ones. Or whatever that is.
You're talking about the Universal?
Oh, Universal. Whatever. Close enough.
Worst, I would say The Bride.
The Bride of Frankenstein?
Because she is in there for less than 3 minutes, has no lines, hisses once, and then dies. But she has like this crazy amount of popularity despite doing literally nothing.
It's the hair.
She hisses. That's it. She just goes...
Well, I mean, she's probably upset with Frankenstein. He left the seat up again.
It's a good character design, but she literally does nothing.
She is like probably the inspiration for Elvira, though.
At least Marge Simpson.
That too.
Hair-wise.
You know who Elvira is, right?
Yeah. Oh, I know who
Mistress
Elvira
of the... you grew up with... You became a man with Elvira.
That
was your first treat.
I don't know, all time? That'd be a toughie.
Like tacky, cheesy movie monster.
I guess I would say like Leprechaun. I'm not really into that.
I'm the Leprechaun.
Or even, God, you can't even go like more B movie than that. Say like, I don't know, there's so much cheesy, especially in the 80s.
We didn't watch a bad horror movie this month.
Speak for yourself. I've been doing it.
We were supposed to watch that one about the mall. What was that one called again? No. It looked bad. It looked really, really bad. And it was like one of those YouTube click holes when I found Hard Ticket to Hawaii on YouTube.
The Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Hey, you're going to be on the road this weekend. Where are you going to be at?
Oh, yeah. Well, the store will still be open, but I'll be in Bangor. Yeah. Up at the very first annual Pine State Comic-Con. We live in the Pine State.
Pine Tree State.
Wherever the hell we live. If you want to find the show, you can go to editorsnotecomics.com on Facebook, Instagram.
Well, where is that? Where is it going to be?
That's a fair question. In Bangor.
Where in Bangor? At the...
I don't remember.
Civic Center?
I don't think so. I think it's somewhere else.
Oh, is it like Jeff's Catering or something up there?
The Bangor Inn.
In Bangor.
Bangor? I hardly know her.
Oh, come on. I lived that joke for 5 years when I was living up there. Where do you live? Bangor. Bangor? Dexter. Don't even have her number.
I didn't know that one. It's awful. Yeah, if you want to get the show a day early, for some reason, you can go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. $1 a month will get you this show a day early every single week. If you want to find out our next Halloween-themed episode, it's kind of a biggie. It's a biggie on a mainstream book.
Yes.
What the hell was that?
I'm stroking my beard. The very Nefariously, yes.
No one can see it, and that's not an impression of anything. You're just doing a voice.
Yes, I am.
You've gone mad with power.
Wah!
Stop the... What are you doing? What has happened here? What is this?
My cold medicine is kicking in.
Jesus. Or don't give us $1. That's fine, I guess.
If you give us $1, I'll stop doing the chicken nick thing.
For me, give it $1. And if you want to find the store, it's 210 Water Street, Hollowell, Maine. Not this weekend, although something is happening this weekend. Don't want to give it away. Next weekend...
My birthday.
No, it's not at the store.
Oh,
next weekend will be Oktoberfest, Halloween Fest, whatever it's called. We're giving away a brand new plethora of free horror comic books for all ages, men and children.
Women.
And women, and boys, girls, chickens, thighs, I don't know, things of all ages.
Are you dressing up for Halloween in the store?
Nope.
What? Come on.
Although I think we're going to do it on...
Your office costume party must be really bad.
And you're on Twitter.
Yes, at Junior Rich.
We'll be back next week to talk about a mainstream book that started off great and then had way too many crappy sequels. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.